All right, what's going on, bro? I think we are officially live. Let me go ahead and turn on my camera here. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. All right, YouTube fam, what's going on? What's going on? Sorry, we're about like 2, 3 minutes late to the party, but we are here. We are ready to go as we see everybody start to come into the chat box here in just a second. Brent, how you doing, bro?
What's up, bro? Good, good, good. Another amazing week ahead of us. Another amazing week we had. This week's gonna be definitely spicy. I'm excited for it for sure, bro.
100%, bro. Alrighty, awesome. So we should be up and running now for sure, for sure. So welcome everybody to the YouTube live. I see we got Colin, Steven, Aaron, Jamie. What's up, guys? What's up? All right, so keep in mind, guys, we are doing a funded challenge account giveaway today for our weekly market outlook call. We are the last couple of days here left in April, which has been an amazing, amazing month so far. And yeah, man, we're just excited to be here with you guys as always, ready to give you guys some insights on what we see in the markets for the week, just preparing ourselves to win at all costs. But appreciate you guys who are here on time, ready to go. We see the numbers starting to flood in here, guys. So again, if you, your friends, family, whoever you guys want to plug into this Outlook call want a chance at a funded challenge account giveaway, make sure that you guys go crazy in the chats. Make sure you guys promote this as we ramp up here, because who doesn't love a giveaway, right? But with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive into this market outlook. So as always, for those who are newer here, my name is Rich Vendiga. I got my guy, Mr. Brent Badal, in the building here. We are co-educators of an amazing platform called the Koshex, and we do these Sunday market outlook calls pretty much for free every single Sunday to give people a look at what we analyze, what we're, basically doing as traders every single start of the week, so that we can, put not just ourselves in a position to win, but everybody in our private community. So with that said, Brent usually kicks us off with going over financial news, aka the fundamentals. And there's nobody else I'd rather have breaking that down for us, because if y'all know, this is the GOAT of news trading right here, especially on TikTok Live. So I'm gonna let him do his thing and step out of the way of greatness here real quick. So Brent, appreciate you for being here, bro. Let's get it.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. Let's go. Let's get it. So we have a lot of news this week. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here so we can show the news that we're gonna have, and we're gonna show aside some earnings because we have a week that's heavy for earnings. So it's gonna move a lot the markets too. Oh wait, I'm sharing the wrong one. Share. That's the right one. Okay, cool. So first things first, obviously, is the news. So the news factor we want to know, and always remember that news is just smoke. We don't want to fall a lot of times trading the particular news at that time based off the data. The data is important for further on or for other aspects that we're doing, right? So this week, it's a pretty cool week. So this week, tomorrow, Monday, we're chill, really nothing to worry about unless you're doing something JPY. But outside of that, Nat, Rich and I, you guys know we're the NAS bros. We trade NAS. Now and then I like to drop some gold stuff, but the majority is going to be NAS. So nothing to worry about Monday. Tuesday, a little bit better, right? So Tuesday right away we have good balances, wholesale inventories. This one, the S&P Composite 20 PHI, this is good for those that like to swing trade. You guys like to swing trade, you want to see what data is given out from here, right? But to actually trade, 9 is going to be good. 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, Tuesday is going to be good because we have jolts and we have consumer confidence. That's going to be a really good one to see. Consumer confidence should be pretty good. Jolts should be good as well. So it's really healthy for the dollar, really good news. It should move the market well. Excited to see what that going to do at that time. Wednesday, we had a little bit into some better news, right? So as far as like movement wise. So most likely I will be trading on Facebook, on TikTok. Most likely you'll catch me on TikTok Wednesday around like 7 a.m., 7:05, something like that, Central Standard Time, so we could trade the non-farm employment change. And then we'll have the regular money in the morning session, right, on the cash fix. But we have that happening at 7:15, really good. 7:30, advanced GBT, employment cost, advanced GBT index. 8:45, Chicago PMI, 9 corporate. So as you can see, we have a ton of pack news in that time. So the cool thing is we're going to have a ton of opportunities Possible downfall, the bell is going to be really slow. It's going to be a really dull bell, but it's okay because we have a ton of other news around it that's going to be really heavy, lots of energy, lots of movement. I'm excited for it. Personal income, personal spending, pending housing. Like it's really good news that will definitely fluctuate the market for us and give us a lot of volatility. So excited for that on Wednesday. Thursday, unemployment claims. Most likely I'll trade that as well on TikTok. Still not 100% sure. It really depends what happens the day before if I will trade that or not. But we have unemployment claims, manufacturing, ISI manufacturing, PMI prices, construction spending, wards, total vehicle sales, natural gas. So that's again another packed day, like one after the other. Not as much as Wednesday, but still a lot to happen on Thursday. And then Friday, we close out the week with non-employment change, unemployment rate, employment. As you know, typically I don't trade on Fridays, but this Friday is one that would be interested in trading, just depending how the calendar looks for the week, how we're doing for the scores and everything. But I would like to do another bonus session like I did last Friday. I did a bonus session on TikTok. We called a bunch of trades. I called 14 trades on TikTok live last Friday. So I like to go a little bit crazy on there too. So most likely this will be another Friday for sure. In addition to this, guys, we have a lot of earnings. So earnings, obviously, a lot of it, some of these stocks will be inside the NAS 100, US 30, S&P 500, depending what you're doing in the indices world. It could affect as well gold to what's doing, but this is going to be a really heavy week for earnings. It's good to know this even if you're not trading it, right? Because you want to figure out, okay, is it before the bell, after the bell? Because you could get that sporadic movement. Like you really want to figure out what's like what time on Tuesday is PayPal going to announce their earnings. You can find this, it changes, it fluctuates. You're really going to find out Monday night, maybe, not Tuesday early, like what time they're actually releasing those earnings. PayPal finally, which has been in the works forever with Coinbase, they're doing their collaboration, right? They finally announced it themselves. Like it's coming from them to where they're doing that. So that should make a big movement. Obviously, Visa, SoFi, there's so many more here, JetBlue, Pfizer, Spotify. There's a bunch of ones that can actually shift the market. It can move the market at that point. Meta, obviously super important. Microsoft, Robinhood. We have a ton of different ones, right? Amazon, Apple. Apple, no, you guys know Apple will move for sure, right? So we have Apple. And Friday, we saw a couple different ones like Exxon, Chevron, still some important ones. So it's really important to know this too, just to get ready for those sporadic spikes. Last week, I mentioned that, hey guys, get ready for those spikes because there's going to be a lot of political shifts. There's going to be a lot of different things popped up. We've been talking too much about the tariffs. There's going to be a lot of new things happen. It did. So the payments to you have to pay back your student loans, right? That popped up. There's not enough babies, so now they're doing a bunch of baby stuff. They're talking about now the Doge and the what do you call it? The Doge and the stimulus, right? So there's a lot of things that came out last week during the week that we had some little bit of spikes here and there. So important just to follow this and then attach that to the fundamentals that we're looking at the news, and we're going to be good. Outside of that, as always, just remember to be responsible, take it serious, right? If you don't have a news add-on, there's a lot of news happening. There's a lot of red folders happening this week. Nothing crazy that like could burn your account on the movement, but if you don't have the add-on, you will breach your account and you don't want to do that. So just make sure you're responsible and not following those hours that's going to happen to make sure you're good through that. But we'll go next through the charts. We'll look at NAS and take it from there. So I'll send it back to you, Rich, so you can start off and show us what you have for NAS.
For sure, bro. Awesome. So let's get straight into it, guys. I'm going to share my screen here in just a second so we can take a look at some charts here. All right, here we go. All right, so pretty much from what we've been talking about inside of the private mentorship is us looking at NASDAQ and hold on, give me 1 second here. We were really looking at the fact that we've been rallying all week ever since we ended up taking out sell side liquidity of these lows here. We've pretty much just ramped up throughout the entire week. And I've been mentioning for quite some time, if you guys are following us closely, that there's going to be always buy side targets and sell side targets. So when we were inside this entire range, we were just looking at the daily smaller time frame movements to really get a directional bias. And so pretty much the week prior, we were looking at taking, again, sell side liquidity, or basically all of the lows that had been put in, And then once we did that, we started seeing the order flow kind of really start to shift bullish, and pretty much buy setups were the move throughout the entire week. And now we find ourselves here at the end of Friday. So really the next thing that we need to look for is, what is the market, gunning for, right? What is the intention of what the market is looking to tap into next? And so if we look over here to the left, there's something important called supply and demand zones, manipulation. Again, everybody has their own strategies, their own way of really looking at the markets, but I really look for intentional areas of manipulation and reversals, because I feel like that is the visual proof that money is being exchanged at a very high level from institutions that are going to drive the next trend. So I like to trade with the trend, but I like to look at also those very crucial points where we can expect, reactions, big reversals, etc., because that's really what's going to set the tone for what's going to happen the rest of the week. So long story short, if we really go back to this day was, what day was this? This was the 2nd of April on Wednesday. This is that Wednesday towards the start of April where we had that really long manipulation to the upside that triggered that massive drop that really leaked into the whole rest of the week, triggering that huge fall off. If you guys recall, that's like when the tariff news was, very, I mean, it's still relevant, but that's when things were really picking up steam. And so that real big manipulation that kind of, caused that big drop on that Wednesday afternoon is really kind of what led into the rest of the drop. And so long story short, we've kind of been working our way up, these last couple of weeks back into where that manipulation started. So this gray area, again, is that wick that took liquidity on the buy side that caused that massive shift downwards. So the way I look at those levels is a potential area where, number one, depends how we really open up the market. Obviously, right now it's still technically closed. We got to see if it gaps up, gaps down, if it kind of, stays somewhere in the middle. I really don't know, how we're going to open up. But once we get to basically 19,600, that's going to be a very crucial zone from there to about 19,900. So 19,600 to 19,900, this gray area of this wick is going to be super crucial for us to look for reactions from. So first and foremost, again, if we do gap down, I'd be looking for price to move its way up. So we can find some buy opportunities up into the zone. And then from there, I would actually expect some big rejections and pushes down. So that's the way I see it right now. We're going to be basically finishing the entire move that I've been planning for basically all of last week, which was, if we continue bullish pressure, we're going to gun for all of the liquidity, which we've already achieved that objective. Towards the end of Friday, we finally, started taking these highs from back on the 9th of April. So what's left? Like, what is the market going to look for next now that we've basically cleared out all of the liquidity from all of these high points? Well, big area of supply. So again, from 19,600 to 19,900, price will push up into there. When we get that push, let's see. It might already even push into it as soon as the market opens, for all I know. And from there, looking to see price basically start to give those reactions and shift of structures that indicate that we could sell off. And if we do get sells off from that zone, for me, then I'd be looking at sell side liquidity again of 19,100 and filling in all of these fair value gaps that we left over from Thursday that never really got filled. I thought it was going to get filled on Friday, and it kind of was heading towards that direction. But, obviously we kind of closed the session, rejecting the downside and ended up pushing to a new high. So as of right now, I think we're just going to focus on getting to 19,600 to 19,900, somewhere in this area. And then from there, looking for the shift to come back down and fill in these fair value gaps. That's what I see for now. If we do end up pushing into the zone and kind of like hanging around, then we'll probably eventually just end up taking that high. So that is the second scenario. However, I do think that we're going to end up getting sells more than buys off of this area, at least short term. So again, right now, I'd focus on buying. And then once we're in this area, looking for those signs of weakness to take us back down. So that's it. That's what I got for NAS from a little bit of a higher time frame perspective. I'm not really looking at the smaller time frames right now until we get into session, but I'll let Brent kind of show you guys his perspective now from the scalping to smaller time frame perspective, because that's really what he specializes in. So Love to get your thoughts on Nas too, bro.
Yes, sir. Well, obviously you said sells, and I got excited because it makes sense. I mean, we have such a Tuesday, we left this gap here and we still haven't filled it up. So we still need to come down and take care of this. Still, like it's gonna be crazy if we have a whole another week leave and not come down for this. So my bull target is still the same as last week, 21,000, still the same. And my bear target is still the same, 16,600. Still looking at the same for both, either or. I do like this to obviously come down. The only thing is that the upward side of things, I almost would like it if the market gaps up, takes care of a lot of this stuff to then come down, but we just have so many levels. Remember what this is with my indicator? You guys could see these lines right here. These are all liquidity, fair value gap, whatever. There's a lot of different reasons why the market has to touch back here, either it be a point of interest, point of control, whatever it is. But it's basically a magnet to the market, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 upwards. How many do we have down? 1, 2. So there's a lot more reasons to go back up based off what we've already seen before in the past, but I still like this more to come down. And we can't fall in love with it. We can't just go ahead and take a sell and hold it forever, right? There are more reasons of what the market did and left in the past for us to go up. But it would be healthier for the market to come down. At minimum, come down to this 18,500-ish, right? At minimum, at least. But if you're there, why not fill up this gap that's right here? Like, even if you don't fill my full bear target, at least come down for that. Come down into that 17,700 range, and then decide if you want to go up, skyrocket, jump up, do what you got to do, right? Now, with the news that we have, we're going to get one of two, in my opinion. We're going to get a very high consolidated market. So I'm not saying it's going to consolidate from here to here. No, what I'm saying is that it's going to consolidate from here to here. So we're going to have some big up or downward movements, just really big up and down with all the set of news that we have because there's so much news back to back. So it's like that 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, 8. So you know what I mean? Like they're so tight to where it's not gonna be like 7:15. Okay, the next news is at 9. So the market could still go ahead, slowly go up and decide to go up again. We're just gonna have a lot of news back and forth. A lot of it is complete opposite, doesn't fall through. So we could have that big consolidated market probably for the whole entire week and not really go nowhere. Like continue to stay where we've been at this gap that it's not wanting to fill, somewhere around this 18,500 to like 19,900, 19,800, something like that, right? Just a little bit here. So we could ultimately all week just stay here all week and not go nowhere. Can happen. It's very easy with the set of news that we have. The other side of things is, okay, we have great news, right? And if we want to hit the bull target, well, guess what? 7:15, 7:30, 7:45. Like they come up pretty fast that way too. And they can hit our goal targets where we want to hit here either for the bear or bull or whatever it is. It can reach very fast with the news that we have, or it can even quickly go up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like it could easily take care of even both our bull and our bear targets. So more than anything, for me this week, I'm really gonna live a lot in the 1 minute time frame as I normally do. Just because if we consolidate, that's gonna be great. Like you could see it in prior weeks that it's done that before. Like this is go ahead and check the 15 so I can show you what I mean. I know I have a bunch of drawings all over the place. You guys already know my chicken scratch has a meaning, guys. Believe in the chicken scratch, it has a meaning to it. So let's see here. Yeah, so like here, this was Monday. Check this out. Market opens, drops, and we start trading here Monday, right? And it forms this low. Wednesday. Oh, I went too far. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then the high, pretty much here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You see what I mean, guys? This is what I feel we could run into this week. With the set of news that we have, it's a very high possibility that we hit these high lows, to hit these highs, to hit these lows, to hit these highs, to hit these lows, to hit these highs. Plenty of pips to get taken care of. That's not a bad thing. So we could run into one of those situations, or we could run in one of these situations. So much news and it all goes into one direction where we just go completely down, we go completely up, one or the other. So expect a lot of 1 minute trading for me this week, for sure, for sure, for sure. But that's it for me on the NAS side. Gold side, we rarely touch here, and it's going to be one of those days again. I mean, gold keeps on golding, as we mentioned. Finally, it had a nice retrace. Like, finally, it is starting to look pretty good. It's the same situation here with gold, right? Will it level up here and continue to go upward nonstop? Cool. Will it come down and take care of a lot of this? I would love to see gold come down to 3,000 this week. That would be great. It's not too much to ask for. I would love to see gold kind of do this nice little transition of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, have that repeat one more time. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and let's come down into that 3,000. Come down into that 3,000, come down into that 3,100. That would be really nice with gold. Because if not, all it's going to do is going to come back to make a higher high, hooray, just to come down again. It's not, I don't like that. I feel it could take a bunch of more opportunities if it were to just go up and then take its way all the way down in one direction for the rest of the week. That's Bitcoin for me. I don't have anything. Those that did take that trade, congratulations. I know that last Sunday we did call out that Bitcoin trade that I said to buy around that 85 area that we were. So we have the Sunday market outlook around this time right here. And that's when I said go ahead and position, go ahead and buy, take it to 88. Went to 88. Then it started struggling, and then obviously it shot up to the 93 that I was looking for and beyond. So I did go ahead and buy in here. I put 2 grand in here. I took my money out here. I made a total of 10 grand out over here. So ton of opportunities that there is. Bitcoin does that. When it does that, it likes to do those little shots. And that's why we always say, Rich and I, that it's not that you're late. Like, don't think that you're late when it comes to Bitcoin because you didn't buy it 10 years ago or whatever, right? You still have a ton of opportunities like this right here to make some nice little change, right? There's still some good opportunities. So nothing for me on Bitcoin right now. XLM, if you bought in at 20 cents, we're obviously in profits here still. So nice little profits, touched our 20 cents. We're at 28. Obviously nothing to brag about, but we are beautiful. We sniped that beautifully. We are in there for sure. And now we're just chilling and waiting for it to do its thing. But that's it for me as far as chart related. I don't know if you have anything else, Rich, on the Bitcoin side, crypto side, stock side, anything like that.
Yeah. It hasn't been really something on my radar so much as far as like paying attention to it. Um, I think, well, I'll share my screen here in a sec. Let me just pull this up here. So Bitcoin wise, this is why we gave these exact levels a while back and why they were so important. So especially with psychological whole numbers, 75K to the T, like to the T, 75K and 90K. So 75 and 90. And then obviously all-time highs. These are like the three major levels. Like if I'm talking daily and weekly, which when it comes to crypto, since I invest more than I trade, I don't even trade cryptos. I just invest. So I'm only really concerned so much more with like daily timeframes and above, personally. And for me, again, all-time highs are always a relevant number. And then looking at key reactionary areas, which again, that 90K range was a very big support level, turned resistance level. Now we're seeing it basically kind of breaking close back above it. So as long as Bitcoin stays respecting the 90 level, then of course you have more inclination to go and push towards new all-time highs. Okay. Same reason why I told you if we start to break below 90, we'd head to the next levels. So, when it comes to trading NAS and all those things, we look at a lot more of, concepts like supply and demand, concepts like market timing. It's a lot more precision that gets involved with day trading, scalping, getting into buys and sells. When it comes to investing in Bitcoin or just using it as I use Bitcoin really in a way, kind of like how you would use the dollar index to trade Forex pairs, if that makes sense. Like Bitcoin is my compass for understanding the altcoins and a lot of the other things. The only thing like meme coins and those really small cap type of plays, not that Bitcoin doesn't play a factor because it always plays a factor, but those projects are just so volatile and have their own ecosystems going on of like people putting in the volume that, you have a lot of upside as far as returns and you also have a hella risk. So when we talk about these, cryptos on the session, we typically talk about pretty well established projects that, Bitcoin obviously heavily influences. So with that said, again, Bitcoin as of right now has obviously shifted order flow back bullish, right? We went from basically grabbing liquidity, shifting structure bearish, respecting higher lows, forming new lower lows until we've basically hit 75. And from 75, we've just started to see those initial reactions, shift of structure, break of structure almost now above these highs. So again, we'll probably see it come back down a bit to the high 80s, 90s, but if it stays above here and starts shifting back up and continuing bullish order flow, then yeah, we could definitely see some new all-time highs here for Bitcoin. So obviously that's good for altcoins. Personally, I'm like very greedy. I don't want that right now. I want, these other opportunities that we've been talking about to kind of move into the targets that I've been waiting on as far as like ETH, XRP, and Solana. So we've been talking about those other coins, at least from my side, for a little bit here where, nothing changes for me. I ideally want to get, ETH, for example, for sure below 1,000, high 800s once we grab all of this sell side liquidity is somewhere I'd want to really, reinvest into ETH. That hasn't changed. If you guys are constantly here and actually paying attention, taking notes, jotting down this information, and you kind of already know, but XRP at $1 is my play. ETH below basically 1,000 is my play. And then Solana at below 80 for sure. Anywhere from, I think it can even get as low as 40, but I wouldn't mind scaling some positions in once we get to about 70. I think all of that is very, very possible. But again, current order flow right now for Bitcoin, which does influence as we see, like, look, ETH is coming back up a little bit, XRP is coming back up a little bit, Solana, like these coins are all going to really still ride the Bitcoin like charge. Bitcoin is still gonna lead the way and kind of dictate these things. So um again, like right now, that's where I haven't really cared for looking at it because I'm not seeing what I personally want to see for my plan. So other people that have alternate plans or their own perspectives of the market, may love what they're seeing right now and may already be buying into some of these altcoins. And it wouldn't surprise me that there is some gains to be made in the next, I don't know, week or two. But I'm personally just very stubborn because I've just seen these cycles, for the last 5, 6, 7 years that I've been doing this, and I will be very greedy at buying very low. And I think that we're still making our ways there. And so I'd rather just save money right now and load the hell up, get in very low, and then just close my eyes for the next like year or two again. I just feel like crypto can be very stressful if you make it that way, but if you just get in when it is absolute chaos and like just despair, I feel like it doesn't get any worse than that. And at that point, obviously, you got to be willing to lose your investment, like I always say. My ApeCoin position is garbage right now. My Filecoin position is garbage right now. But those are smaller cap coins that I don't really think are long term even relevant. But I still saw a good money flip, play in them. And so I was willing to put what I put in it and willing to lose what I put in it for that potential return. And it's my personal season to wait and sit and draw down right now on those positions. So yeah, bro, I'm basically like mostly cash right now on basically all cryptos. Because I already cashed out basically when Bitcoin hit 110, I was pulling out of all my altcoins. And I don't regret it. I mean, I'm chilling on that. I made my money, so I'm just loading up right now. But other than that, something that we don't really talk about as much anymore is gold, obviously. But with gold, I mean, when you see the stock market having its rallies, like it's crashes like we've had, in the last couple months, this is a big catalyst for safe haven investment. As much as people want to try to push Bitcoin and crypto into that category, it's just not there yet. You know, like it's not that standard. There's a reason why they call it the gold standard. Like that's literally a catchphrase in society, right? So it's for a reason. And we're seeing why, you know. I mean, anybody who's a gold trader that's just overall bullish, I mean, you're cashing out right now. And we have plenty of Akashics educators that do have those strategies. So it's definitely their time to shine with gold right now. I think long term, though, at some point we're gonna have, you know, our very strong bear market for gold for at least a little bit, but we would need to see a lot of evidence of that yet. So not really touching gold personally as much, but just kind of wanted to give you my perspective. I think that this zone at around 3,400, a little bit over that, is going to be really crucial because we kind of got some signs of slowing down from this big push here. And I think that if we can end up respecting this area and forming some new lows on gold, that'll kind of be a really big catalyst to take us back down to below three potentially. But man, honestly, like you gotta really see some evidence of that first, because to do anything but be, you know, bullish on gold overall right now is not a good decision, as we've seen. So yeah, that's kind of like literally everything that we look at. Peloton made a little bit of recovery. That's kind of like on the back burner, just letting it sit for the next year plus. So yeah, man, basically our main focus is just running up the NAS plays on the daily. I know somebody made a comment about observing higher time frames like daily plus, and I definitely have that as part of my repertoire for sure. I mean, we saw, you know, just to kind of go back to this for a second, we did shift order flow on the daily time frame. We did break and close on Friday above this major daily high here. So all in all, like, you know, obviously I thought maybe there's still a chance for us to come lower, and I'm not saying there's not a chance still, but now the order flow on the daily plus has definitely shifted to where we've bottomed out, created this high, respected the low, and now we're shifting above this high here. So we talk about that type of shift of structure and stuff like that on smaller time frames, but to see it on the daily is a pretty strong indication that overall, even though I am expecting some short-term sells off that zone, overall, I think we can definitely blow through, you know, 20,000 something and get into that 21K range that Brent was talking about for sure. So, you know, that's the higher time frame stuff that I didn't touch on for NAS, but that's really it on my side. Not sure if Brent, you got any other stuff you want to go over here.
If you're still holding Carvana, we just made a big jump. Obviously, we went in at 166. It just made another big jump to 237. So that's nice. That's looking good. That's still cooking there. One that I've been paying attention to has been Hims and Hers too. They've had a crazy, crazy review, like report, review everything. They have one of like the highest like records and companies and this and that for subscriptions and amount of time for users. That's super powerful, and a lot of stuff could come from that too. It's a pretty cheap stock. I mean, it's like $28, something like that. At one point, the high of it was into that 72. So there's a lot happening in that realm too. There's a lot of rumors of them bringing peptides. Obviously, that's another like big wave of products right now in the health industry is peptides. Supposedly that's going to be the next big thing. And they're looking to bring that at a subscription situation, which would be the only ones that actually do that right now for a company of that size, right? So if that happens, we could see a big skyrocket on that one. That's a pretty good one. Like I said, it's 28 bucks. Come into that share at 28 bucks, have it hit 100 plus. That's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not, again, some little changes, not bad to get that position. The EMAs are crossing on the daily, so it's right at that level. I do have a trend line on that, so I think it could come down just a little bit more. I'm possibly like most likely if I get in, it'll be around that $24 range. If it comes down just a little bit on Hims and Hers, I'll probably looking at the profits that I made from Carvana. I'll put it into that one, and we'll just keep on running different plays like that. But yeah, chart wise, that's it. Outside of that, Mindset Monday, keep an eye out for Tuesdays for live trading. We have events. Obviously, we have a ton of events. I know if you want to touch events right now, Rich, but we have a ton of events lined up as well. And
Yeah. Yeah, so you know, Akashics, for those, I mean, most of you guys that are on here are probably part of the private mentorship. But for those who are not aware, we do again educate for a company called Akashics, and we do events pretty much, you know, globally at this point. And we just actually had a Toronto event. We were not personally attending, but we had some of the other education team and some of the top leaders out there. So that was a cool event that we just saw wrap up yesterday. Us personally, me and Brent, we will be doing a live training, a very in-depth training in Manchester, which is in England, in the next week and a half, almost 2 weeks, a little bit less. Um, yeah, 2 weeks actually. So we'll be out there. So we're excited. You know, Brent is a big Manchester fan in the football world. So it's
Yes.
gonna be dope. Cool trip. Um, so yeah, that's what we got coming up. Other than that, it's a little bit further away. We'll be Atlanta. We also have Rome for the international convention. So we'll see. Like we try to go to pretty much all the major events, especially as keynote speakers from the education side, but it just depends. But for now, for sure the main focus is Manchester. What were you gonna say, bro?
As a Fort Lauderdale as well. But yeah, no,
Oh,
the main,
duh, Fort
the main,
Lauderdale, bro.
main one
I knew
right
I
now,
was missing one.
obviously, is that right now for sure, we're focusing on Manchester. That's like the next one, so you need to focus on that one for sure. All
Yeah.
eyes on Manchester, all eyes on that event. And then from there, the next major big one is Fort Lauderdale. Then the next
Yeah.
major big one is Rome. Then the next major big one and last one is, as of now, is Atlanta. So
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely want to make sure you tap into those. If anything, if you're in that business, for sure you need to either, if you're in the European side, you need to go to Rome 100%, right? Obviously, if you're in the States and you can do it, right? But if you're in the States, you have to go to Atlanta because that's like the overall yearly convention.
I
But
didn't even say Fort
finally,
Lauderdale though. You're
yeah.
definitely right about Fort Lauderdale. That's in July, so that's
Yeah,
not
for
far
Wireless
away.
in July, it's exciting. It's going to be good. That's a little mixture. There's supposed to be new announcements of new products that are trading related. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be a first for us here in the 2+ years that we've been here. That's going to be something cool too. So we have some products falling in for the trading side. So they announced the first one
I think
was
you're talking about the crypto stuff, huh?
no, a product. We're getting a product, bro.
Ah, okay,
So
okay,
you
okay,
know how we
okay.
have our Elixir right now, our Cash Expedition Elixir?
Yeah.
We're getting another product that's a cash X. It's going to be announced.
Mm,
So we can't say that because we need to go there to see it, right? So we can't say it here because I know what it is. I'm not going. So you guys need to go for
yeah.
that. It'll be announced. Those that go in Manchester, I might slip a little bit as long as nobody's out there. Like, hey guys, turn your cameras off. I got something to say. I might speak a little bit there for those that go to Manchester.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, let's definitely get into this giveaway before we wrap up this Sunday market outlook call. But yeah, appreciate everybody who's been tuned in. We've had like over 170 deep throughout this call. So again, appreciate y'all for being here. But it is time to give away a funded challenge account, guys. So not sure if you guys have been tuned into how we usually run this. All right. These are all fair. This is not a giveaway where we try to like pre-pick somebody and all that stuff. Like this is a 100% fair random giveaway. Okay. Man, I forgot who won it last time, Brent.
Let's look for the chance. Um, Damn it, I forgot the name. I'm horrible, bro. I don't remember what I.
Totally slipped my mind, bro.
I have her Bitcoin address because I sent it.
I
If that helps.
know she's here. She's most
Anyway,
likely here.
where is she? Can we do the three-way chat? Was it in Telegram?
It wasn't Telegram. Oh, Kate.
Kate. Here you go, Kate.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Kate, yeah. So
Oh, there
Kate,
she is, Julie Kate. There you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
here
So
you go.
Julie Kate won last time. Yep, 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 yep. So she's in the chat. So, uh, yeah, man, I'm excited for our next winner. All right. So basically, what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna give you guys some instructions. So please pay attention carefully here, and I'm going to randomly choose somebody here. All right. So what I need you guys to do for me to pick a winner, all right, is we're going to have you guys in the chat box, okay? In the chat box, we are going to put, let's type Nasbros in the chat. Let's go crazy typing Nasbros in the chat. And I'm going to literally randomly select a name that has the word Nasbros in there. All right. And again, I'm going to close my eyes, literally put my finger on a part of my screen here. And as soon as I open my eyes and I see the name, I'm going to basically just say it. And that will be the winner. So let's start getting, I know there's a little bit of delay. So let's type in the Nasbros here in the chat box. And I'm going to go ahead and just randomly choose a winner here. All right. So let's go crazy. Nasbros in the chat. Nasbros in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and pick a name. Let me put my finger right here. All right. Keep it going, y'all. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right, Vidor. All right, let's stop talking. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Man, it goes crazy. Hold on. Hold on. Where'd he go?
Gonna close the chat, bro.
Oh, I should do that.
Yeah, because we're gonna give my time. We gotta
Nah, I
close.
got the name though. I got the name.
Okay, okay.
I just
Yeah.
gotta scroll here because it went crazy.
Sheesh, it's still going.
I know. They're still typing.
We broke YouTube chat.
Oh my Lord.
We broke YouTube.
I'm gonna find the name though. Y'all can keep typing all you want, but I already picked the name. I'm just trying to find it here. Okay. Video Raiders. Video_Raiders is the name that I saw.
Congrats, congrats. Video_Raider.
Video_Raiders. So I mean, obviously that's not your name, but we need video_Raiders. So let's give some love for video_Raiders. You guys can keep typing all you want, but we already chose the winner, guys. All right. So video_, let me type it in the chat here.
Still going. There you go. There you go. It's typed. It's typed. It's typed. Congrats, congrats, congrats.
Yes, that's you. That is you. Okay, so Video Raiders. I need you to do us a favor. Okay. I need you to Video Raiders, are you currently a member of Akashex? Yeah, I saw him already reply in the chat, so
Trying to, he said thanks.
no problem. No problem. Video Raiders, if you are in Akashex or whatever the case is, you should have Telegram. If not Telegram, maybe Instagram. Let's shoot a message to. Oh,
Yeah,
you are? Okay, cool. All right, cool. So Video Raiders, just go ahead. So I'm gonna pin that message here.
it's Joanne. Awesome, Joanne. Congratulations. Yeah, Joanne. So just message Rich or myself. Message us if you're in the community chat
Okay.
in the Ask 100 chat too. If you don't have our individual telegrams, you could just write it there and we'll look at it right now, tag one of us, and we'll go forward with the process on getting you.
Yeah, it's I am Rich Vendiga and at Brent Badal 13, right?
For Telegram, yes. Everything else is at Brent Vidal, but on Telegram, it's at Brent Vidal 13.
Yeah. Yep. So congrats to video_Raiders, aka Joanne, for winning the free funded challenge account giveaway today. But yeah, man, regardless, guys, make sure that you guys take advantage. We have right now a 50% off on the challenge accounts for the time being still through TradexMastery, which is our official prop firm funding partner for the private mentorship here in Akashex. It's been an absolute pleasure to work, with them as a company. We've seen payouts consistently. We've seen amazing reviews and people super happy with them. So definitely grateful to be able to do this giveaway. And yeah, man, guys, make sure if you didn't win a giveaway, you can still go ahead and purchase one of those accounts for a really, really great entry price. And at the end of the day, guys, look, if you're applying the information that me and Brent, teach, not just on here, but obviously mainly through Akashex, you guys can absolutely pass your challenges, get your first payout, and get your refund back. So at the end of the day, it's really just a down payment that you get back when you guys know what you're doing as a trader. So regardless, take advantage of these promos while they're out here. Take advantage of the sauce that we give on here because really that matters so much more than a free challenge giveaway. You have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for today's session. Brent, you got any last words for us, bro, as we head up out of here?
Yeah, no, that's big time, obviously, with Tradex situation. So if you already have a Tradex account, just log in and get another one. It includes all the add-ons right now. So that ends here in the next day or two. So take advantage of that for sure. If you don't have a Tradex account yet, then reach out to the person that invited you either to this call or to go into Cashix or whatever it may be, and they'll send you the link. And if not, just reach out to Rich or myself, and we'll send you the link so you can go ahead and take advantage of that. All add-ons included. It's a huge, huge savings that you could go ahead and take care of. Money saved is money made. And that's the biggest thing, right? Just make sure that you take it smooth, take it easy. It's a lot of people, like, I get that situation of like, okay, cool. Right now, a 200K with all add-ons is going to cost me 400 and something dollars. Like, ridiculous, right? But how much will I make next month? Like, it's not that you should be looking at. It's more the ultimate ROI as far as like when you start withdrawing, what are you withdrawing? How much are you withdrawing? You guys that I know with my RST, I look to secure 1%, go for 2%. I trade 3 days a week. So I'm anywhere from 3 to 5% a week on a 200K account. Who cares about $450? You know what I mean? It's just, you have to look at it in that perspective of it. It's all about perspectives, how you're looking at it for. So make sure that you guys are just tapping in. That's all you have to do. Like I always say, Rich and I and other educators that we're with, we do 99% of the work. We look in the charts, we chart up, we go through the pressure of sending it, all this other stuff. You guys have 1%, but that 1% is so much stronger, right? Because of that 1% that you don't put in makes the 99 that we do worthless. So make sure you have discipline, follow RST, follow your trading plans. Let's have an amazing week. Let's take advantage of all the news coming through, lock into the events as always. Be positive in the chats. Obviously, what we do is not easy. Trading is the most easiest, difficult way to make money. So make sure you're being super positive, helping everybody out. If you feel stuck, I highly recommend you for sure to go watch my last Mindset Monday video on my YouTube channel, where I spoke about a timeline of the trader. If you feel you're learning a bunch, but you're losing a bunch and it just doesn't make sense, go watch that video. But regardless, I'll still have another one next week, but check that video out. So at least you get, when the market opens, you're with a good, fresh mindset. You know what's going on, right? So you still have another 2 hours before the market opens. You go watch that video and be ready for it. Cool. Outside of that, that's it for me, bro. Thank you. As always, appreciate it, bro, to be able to run these calls together here.
100%,
Based
bro.
on the outlook for again and again and again, and we'll continue to do so again and again and again. So until then, as always, it's not about getting to the top, but it's about how many people you could bring with.